Hey, and welcome to another episode of Dad's Guitar Guide, where we check out, what's it? Well, it's an Epiphone, but yeah, you already saw it at the beginning. It's 150th anniversary Sheraton in cherry red, but this case, really nice case, nice textured material on the outside, nice handle on it, nice latches, and look at that. There's your cherry red Epiphone 150th anniversary Sheraton with the gold hardware, and I love the inside color of the case. Blue is one of my favorite colors as well, so cherry red and blue, can't go wrong. Look at that, what a sharp looking guitar. I love this blue. It's so soft, and it really is a nice presentation. I mean, it really sets everything off. And there's your 55-point inspection from Sweetwater. And then after that, we've got some of the case candy, which really isn't very much. I mean, you've got a couple of Epiphone stickers, your Allen wrench, and your key for the case. And that's pretty much about it. So the music you're hearing in the background is being played on the Epiphone, obviously, but the setting on the Tone Master Pro is the TP800/tone. And here we have some more photos of the 150th anniversary Sheraton in cherry red, and what a nice guitar. Abalone inlays with mother of pearl, gold hardware. Not Epiphone electronics, Gibson electronics, which they really sound nice on this. Hey everybody, and thanks again for tuning in to another episode of Dad's Guitar Guide. Hey, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down there in bottom right hand corner, your right hand corner, my left hand corner. And obviously we're reviewing the 150th anniversary Epiphone Sheraton, and we've gone through a little bit of that with the unboxing. We're going to flip just for a second. We're going to go to the Sweetwater site and go through a bunch of the specs, and then we'll come right back. So I love going on Sweetwater's website, which is where I bought this guitar, and then you can see the price, $12.99 new. But they give you a lot of information on here, so you can see multiple guitars, their weights, the finishes, how much wood grain is showing through. My guitar came in at 8 pounds, 13.5 ounces, but you can see up there some of them are 8 pounds, 14 ounces. But they go through, you've got a little bit of everything here. 60 slim taper neck profile, which we're going to get into a little bit later on. But one-piece mahogany neck, slab Indian laurel fretboard, Gibson Mini-Humbucking pickups. So just a great description of everything that you're going to get, along with different representations. So like I said, you could go in and make a choice based on which one you like the best. So here we've got some of the features of the 150th anniversary Epiphone Sheraton. So a really good description here. True vintage inspired callback to time when Epiphone and Gibson instruments were crafted side by side in Kalamazoo. Product correct trem tone tailpiece, Indian laurel fretboard, glittering gold hardware, which the hardware is really nice, and the wiggle stick, which I like to call it, or the tremolo, actually stays in tune, which I was really impressed with that. And here we have some of the tech specs. So yeah, you've got everything there you need when you go in to check out the guitar that you want. In this case, the Epiphone Sheraton in cherry red. So let's check out the impedance on these two Gibson Mini-Humbuckers. So there we have the bridge at 6.10. And move that wiggle stick out of the way there. So there's the bridge, and we're going to go up to the neck, and it's 6.03 on the neck, and both of them together 3.03. So there you have it. Hey, we're back. So one of the things that I want to accomplish with this channel, and this is a journey for me as well as for everybody else out there, you know, I'm delving into all these different guitars and looking at things, and you can see we're really cramped right here for space, trying to get it all in. We got 4 guitars here today. But one of the things that I wanted to emphasize today is neck profiles. And while we're going to finish up the review with the Epiphone, I just wanted to go into that really quickly and give you an idea of the differences. Now, all 4 of these guitars are slim tapered neck profiles, but all 4 are different. And I think that's really important to know, because when you're buying a guitar, especially if you're buying it online and you're buying a studio, or you're buying a Les Paul standard or a custom SG, whatever the case may be, you're going to get, especially with Gibson, something a little bit different with each of the neck profiles. And each of these guitars, even though they're slim taper profiles, each one is vastly different. From this Epiphone being a little bigger than these 3 here, down to the studio, and we'll get some measurements on these real quick, which is a little bit thinner, to this, which is really thin, and then over to this 75 SG, which we'll be reviewing in a couple of episodes, which is the thinnest neck I've ever put my hands around. This thing is tiny. So they're all labeled as slim tapered, and they're all labeled as C-shaped necks. So let's just take a look real quick at the different neck profiles, and we'll cut away to that real quick and go online. We'll be right back. So guys, this is always a little bit confusing for me. It's a bunch of guitars that I review, and pretty much all of them feel a little bit different. So you can see up here we have the different neck shapes: C-shape, D-shape, U-shape, V-shape. So soft V, medium V. So there's just a plethora of different neck shapes out there. And I think the best way to tackle this is that obviously if you're ordering online, you're not going to know what the neck it's going to feel like, except for with the description, whether it's a slim taper C or whatever the manufacturer gives you. But that being said, so here we've got slim taper for Gibson neck profiles, and you can see what they're supposed to look like, or how they're shaped, and which is fine. But once you get into it and you start getting into the measurements, they tend to feel different, and sometimes the measurements are almost identical, but the neck feels different from one to the other, depending on how much the shoulders are rounded or how much they drop away, and so just a whole litany of different things that you should take into consideration. So when you're ordering online, and like I said, I think the neck profile is definitely one of the most important aspects of the guitar, because if you're not comfortable playing on that neck, you're not going to play the guitar. So make sure that you have that option. If you get it in and you don't like the neck, that you have that option to return. So the neck width on this Epiphone Sheraton, and I've got to look at my notes here because I've got all 4 guitars written down. So the width on this, on the first fret, is 1.69 inches. Okay, at the 12th it's 2.07. The depth is 0.85 at the first and 0.88 at the 12th. So it's advertised as a 60 slim taper. So we've just looked at that. Now let's take the studio. Same thing, advertised as a 60 slim taper. 1.69 at the first fret in width, 2.07 again at the 12th. The depth changes 0.82, but then it goes to 0.91. But I'll tell you, this one feels slimmer than this one by quite a bit. And we'll look at the profile on that in just a second. And then you go to the Les Paul standard, the 93 that's sitting right here. That one is 1.67. 2.05 at the 12th, but the depth at the first fret, 0.74. At the 12th, 0.85. So a big difference from these two. And then we go over here to this SG, and this is probably the skinniest neck I've ever played. I mean, and it's tiny. So the width on this is 1.55. So a huge difference than these other 3 guitars. Depth's 1.97. I'm sorry, the width at the 12th fret is 1.97. The depth on the first fret is 0.78, and at the 12th, 0.97. So you can see that width, 1.57. That's a really skinny neck. So, and then we look at the profile of all 4 of these, and I don't know how much you're going to be able to garner from this, but this is the Epiphone, the standard I'm sorry, the Studio, the Standard, and then the SG. Now you can see that the SG is much smaller than the rest of them. And these profiles, they don't look like they vary a lot, but this one has more of that round. It looks like it's a little less rounded on the bottom. Maybe more, like it's a C shape. This one actually looks more like a D. As well, that's the Studio. This is the Standard, and then we've got the SG over here. So all three of them, or all four of them, have a different neck shape. And if you look at the bottom down here from the impression on this, you can see the difference too. So something very important when you're buying a guitar online, and hopefully this helps you out a little bit if you are purchasing guitars online, check out that neck shape. So let's check out some of the dirtier tones on this on the Slash TP800 setting. Here we go. Okay, let's listen to something just a little bit cleaner on the Fab 4 setting. Here we go. Go to middle position. Go to the neck pickup. I think actually the neck position might be my favorite one on that setting. So what are my thoughts on this 150th anniversary Epiphone Sheraton? It's a nice guitar. And I think probably every guitar I review I've said that, but I only pick guitars that I really think are going to do well to review anyway and give you guys great examples of them, and this is another one. Abalone inlays, mother of pearl, rosewood fretboard, we've got the binding up the neck, we've got the Gibson Mini-Humbuckers, we've got the wiggle stick that actually stays in tune for the most part, and I love the little rosewood block here on the end. And when this came in, it was a little dry. I oiled it up and it darkened quite a bit. Same with the fretboard. It sounds great. It plays great. Like I mentioned before, the neck is a little wider than I like, but the more I play it, the more comfortable I get with it. And it's, even though the shape is similar to the Studio, and the Studio feels thinner. I think it's the shoulders on the end, and I know, it's a C tapered or a C-shaped neck, and maybe those are more of a D, so they don't have the shoulders. I'm still trying to figure out the whole neck thing and where these all lie. But yeah, it's a great guitar. It sounds really good. Plays really well. 2 thumbs up. So if you're in the market for a Sheraton, check it out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate you hanging in there to the end. Have a great day. Stay tuned for episode number 17, where we check out my right, your left, this 75 SG Custom. Should be a lot of fun. Thanks again, everybody. Have a great day.